Yes Bank, because investors have given a vehement no to the counter today. The bank nosedived to its lowest level in 2 years after the RBI ordered Rana Kapoor to step down by the end of January 2019. It's not just that, because now questions are also being raised on whether Rana Kapoor can continue on the board of the private lender at all. I've got two exclusive stories to toss over to my colleagues Ashwin Mohan and Nentara Rai are joining in for that. Ashwin, you go first. Help us understand why Mr. Rana Kapoor's board seat in the first place is now coming under scrutiny.
Right, Tanya. So I've been speaking to a whole host of sources who are familiar with provisions of the Banking Regulation Act. And according to them, if a certain crucial provision of the Banking Regulation Act does indeed get triggered, and if the board deems fit to rely on that particular section, then of course there could be potential hurdles for Rana Kapoor to continue as a director on the board of Yes Bank post January 31st, 2019. That's when he steps down as the MD and the CEO. Now, what is this crucial provision under the Banking Regulation Act? I'm given to understand that that provision is section 10A 2A bracket 2 of the Banking Regulation Act, and according to that section, if a whole-time director of a bank is removed from office, then he shall cease to be a director of that banking company. We're also given to understand from this particular section, section 10A 2A bracket 2, that that's not all. He shall also not be able to be appointed again as a director on the board of the company for a period of 4 years from the date he steps down as a whole-time director. Now, if you are the MD and CEO of a bank, and in this case Rana Kapoor is, then you also are a whole-time director. So that's the link that sources are saying can be potentially made to this particular section, and that's why they are saying that this could prove to be a potential hurdle. But one must keep in mind that we at ET Now are not arriving at an independent conclusion over here. All that we are saying is that this is a particular section that will come under scrutiny, will come under the lens as far as further legal opinion from Yes Bank and its board is concerned, and therefore we are highlighting it because this in fact could prove to be a hurdle as far as Rana Kapoor continuing on the board of Yes Bank in his position as a director is concerned. We also reached out by sending an email to the bank a little earlier, but our email query is unanswered as of now. We of course will update our story as and when we hear from Yes Bank, but this could prove to be a crucial section going ahead. That's what sources are telling us, but of course it all boils down to interpretation, and only if it does get triggered, then there might be hurdles for Rana Kapoor to continue as a director. Back to you.
So much for that. Let me cross over now to Nentara. Nentara, given that the Yes Bank board is meeting on the 25th of September, which is Tuesday, this is most definitely going to come up. What are you picking up in terms of what the way forward is, not just from the bank side, but also the thinking within the RBI and the Finance Ministry?
Well, look what happened to the stock markets today. Yes Bank lost 14,000 crore rupees in market capitalization. You've seen investors hit the panic button, and that's why the shares sold off the way they did. We haven't seen this share price since Yes Bank got listed. Having said that, what we do understand from our sources, and this is very important to take forward from what we were just discussing, if you look at the articles of association, Rana Kapoor not only does have a right to be on the board of Yes Bank, he's also got the right to appoint not one, not two, but 3 directors on the board. So basically, in a nutshell, the Yes Bank board is finding itself in quite a quandary. Does Rana Kapoor stay on as a board member or not? So sources telling me that on Tuesday, September 25th, when the board meets, it is going to be seeking a legal opinion on the road ahead for Rana Kapoor as far as directorship also goes. That's part one of the story. What we are also understanding, and this is very, very important for the Yes Bank depositors, shareholders, retail investors, is the popular belief is that the Reserve Bank of India wrote a letter to Yes Bank earlier this week and said Rana Kapoor can no longer stay on as MD and CEO beyond 31st January 2019. We at ET Now are telling you that it's not as simple as that. The RBI cited not one, not two, but 3 reasons for why Rana Kapoor cannot stay on as MD and CEO. Let me tell you what those 3 reasons are. 1, weak compliance culture in Yes Bank. Second, weak governance in Yes Bank, and third, wrong asset classification. These are the three big grievances the Reserve Bank has, the three big reasons why the Reserve Bank of India has felt Rana Kapoor can no longer continue as MD and CEO. We are being told by our sources that the Finance Ministry and the government is squarely behind the RBI when it comes to this decision. So let's see how this story pans out. I would go a step further and say it does seem as if Rana Kapoor's directorship is certainly under jeopardy at a time when we at ET are also picking up that he's talking to lawyers, is considering the possibility of moving court against RBI, maybe because he's got the articles of association of the Yes Bank behind him. It does allow him to remain on the board and to appoint up to 3 directors.